Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Evexia Effect. Happy to have you here. Today, we're doing a fantastic chat with Grace, who is an expat living on Kos, and she owns a massage studio called Naos, which essentially means temple. So, we're going to talk all about wellness, about the holistic benefits of massage and holistic treatments. Welcome, Grace. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So we're going to get started. So you're living and working on what we think is one of the most beautiful places in the world here on Kos. How did your journey actually lead you to come to this island?
Where to start? So I've been qualified as a therapist for over 10 years now, probably, yeah, even 12. And I qualified in the UK. I studied for about 4 years and then I started working in a few spas in the UK, close to where I live. I'm close to a beautiful spa town called Bath. And so what led me to Kos essentially was me wanting to kind of leave the UK um, and work abroad, which is something that I always wanted to do. And I started by doing a few winter seasons in France, in the ski resorts. And then I decided, okay, the cold life is not for me. I'm gonna try and do something a bit warmer. So I ended up applying for a job at a activity holiday company. So they do sort of spa and family activities. And I was working in a hotel in Cardamona in the spa. And I did that for a year. I met my boyfriend here and then worked in a few other spas kind of in Cardamona. And then essentially ended up opening my own place, which was quite a shock because I never really had it in my brain that I wanted to open a business. Didn't think it was on the cards for me. But then, yeah, it happened, and here we are 3 years later. So, yeah.
What inspired you to open Naos? Why did you take that step?
So, I guess working in spas, I mean, I'm talking like in the UK. If you're a spa therapist, you're generally doing a lot of massages per day. It's quite physical work. And I guess I was feeling like the whole kind of client experience was kind of lacking. It felt very much like it was a conveyor belt and it was just like, massage after massage. And I just felt like, something's missing. This isn't really where my heart is anymore. I was almost thinking of leaving the industry because it was just becoming so robotic almost. And I was just sick of kind of just doing the same thing all day long. And I just wanted to have the ability to create my own treatments and be creative in that sense. And I thought, at the end of the day, I just thought, well, let's try doing it myself. And people were asking me, why don't you do it for yourself? It would be so much better. And yeah, and then I just thought, okay, let's start looking at shops and found this beautiful shop in Cardamona. And I was just like, yeah, this is the one. So and it was just all very quick from there. I think within about 6 months, it was from the moment of me making the business plan and then opening the shop, it was incredibly fast. And yeah, still amazes me how it all came into place, but it did. So yeah. I guess just finding something, I wanted to make something that was different. It wasn't just like the same as any other kind of massage place. So
So
yeah.
massage, holistic therapy, that's always been what you've really wanted to do. Is that true, would you say?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So it's all I've ever done, to be honest. I went straight from school and I did my studies. I was very lucky to have some very good tutors, very good therapists around me. So it's really thanks to them they've kind of shaped my kind of way of working now and the style of treatments that I do, everything. So it's all I've ever wanted to do. I don't have a background in anything else. I'm not sort of formally qualified in any business or finance or things like that. I really did know nothing about business. So it was always just me in the treatment room and that was it. So yeah.
What kind of treatments do you offer?
So I opened the studio with quite a basic menu. So it was just, I think we opened with three massages. There was one for relaxation, there was one that was like a deep tissue, and then I think there was one that was like a back massage, and that was kind of it. So over the seasons, I've expanded the menu to also offer holistic facials. So that's something that I'm really passionate about. And then some other massages as well. So you've got now a lower body massage as well as the kind of whole upper body massage. The most popular treatment, I guess, is called the Calm, and this is like your overall kind of relaxation experience. And that's been with me since the beginning. It's a really lovely treatment. So yeah, we've got the facials, we've got the massage, and you've also got rituals that kind of combine both, which is really lovely. So people get a taster of both of those things, and just tying them together is really beautiful. So yeah.
Wonderful. It sounds amazing. I have been for one of your, well, a couple of your treatments, and I have to say they are
Yeah, yeah.
amazing. And anybody that I know that have been to sample your treatments, they have only said amazing things. It is,
Oh,
you walk out of there feeling a lot lighter and a lot more calmer and less stress. Yeah, definitely
that
highly
is the goal. That
recommend.
is the goal.
Yes, yeah. What's the kinds of needs or intentions do people usually come to you with when they're looking for your treatments?
So you
Are they
really have
looking
kind
for
of
like
like,
stress relief?
yeah. So there's two kinds of people, I guess, that come to my studio. It's either you're coming for something very specific, maybe you have lower back pain, you've done your lower back in, you can't walk, and you're really struggling, or maybe you've got tension headaches, or you're coming in because you just want to slow down, you want to relax. Maybe you're just working too much, you've got a very high stress life at the moment. Maybe you're struggling with anxiety, things like that. So there's two kinds of people, and I try to kind of be there for both. And um, yeah, many different reasons. And with the massage and the facials, you can find something for everyone. You can choose a facial if you want something that's going to be really relaxing for the upper body, for your skin health, and then you also have the body treatments for when you really need to work on something specific. So yeah, those are the kind of reasons why people come in.
Do you get many people looking for something like a little bit deeper? They've got emotional stress or a bit of trauma and they're looking for that relaxation element.
Yeah, so I'm noticing more now that people are coming in with the want to go a little bit more deeper, as in more than just surface level kind of relaxation. They want to have the full kind of experience. People, like you say, could come in with some trauma related issues there. And I want to be there to address that and to help them on that journey. I mean, of course, I can't, provide psychological help, but I mean, I'm definitely there for people when they want to talk. What I like to say is, whatever happens in the studio, it stays in the studio. This is a safe space, and that's always been kind of how I wanted this place to be. It's safe, and a lot of people do have very powerful emotional kind of reactions, and it's not like in a negative way. It's more of a release, let's say. So a lot of people will come in maybe feeling extremely on edge, and then by the time they leave, they've kind of released that kind of um that energy, let's say. And people can get quite teary, sometimes a bit emotional, and that is normal. And that can happen either immediately, or it can even happen maybe a day later, or when you get home and you have a chance to lie down, all of a sudden you've got all these emotions coming up, which can be a bit alarming for some people. But at the same time, I try to say, this is normal. It can happen, and just let yourself feel those emotions. So I think, yeah, people are looking to be in a safe space. They want to be with someone that they trust. And I want this, Naos to be that place for them as much as I can.
From my experience with many holistic treatments, not just massage, it does cause a vulnerability within you. And it's
Hmm.
not just my personal experience, it's other people's experiences. So there is that connection, and especially with like human touch, and the moment that you're touched, that causes even more vulnerability. So to have that safe space and to understand that is a safe environment, it's okay to be vulnerable, really does make a huge difference.
Yeah, it's really important. And like you say, you have to be in a place that you feel like you can trust that therapist, because it is kind of strange if you think about it. You're going into a room, you're probably going to be almost naked on the bed, and then you've got this stranger touching you. It's all a weird concept at the end of the day if you think about it from an outsider perspective. But it's just making sure that people know that they're in a safe space. They can trust me. I do this job every single day. I've seen thousands of bodies in front of me. And of course, you're always going to have the ability to um, say no. You don't have to do everything that I say. You can absolutely at any point stop. And it's all about communication and just making sure that they know they have boundaries and they can absolutely uphold them with me. Say no to anything. And if something feels uncomfortable, they can absolutely tell me. Because I think a lot of people struggle, they think, oh, well, I'm just going to lie down and do whatever they think is right. But, that's not necessarily the case. You can absolutely speak up and tell me, no, actually, that doesn't feel so good, or that's uncomfortable. And you can say no to any technique as well. And I think if you come to a place and you say, okay, I want to have a back massage for like my lower back, and maybe I say, okay, well, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then they think, oh, well, actually, no, I had that before and I didn't like it. You can absolutely say that, I'm here to do the best treatment for you. That is comfortable for you. That's the number one thing. It should never be uncomfortable. It should never be painful. I think there's this concept of like no pain, no gain, but it's not always the case. Um, and yeah, just having the good communication there and making sure they feel protected and supported is key.
Wonderful, perfect. It's nice that you're a very open person and people can easily talk to you. So that's really a huge benefit. And for somebody who's never experienced massage or these kinds of treatments, because there's many people in the world. For me, I'm a seasoned massage goer. I always say if I was
Hmm.
a millionaire, I would have a massage every single day.
Every
So I
day.
go to spas on a regular basis. But I know there's many people out there that have never experienced a massage, even some of my clients. And I say,
Hmm.
you need to go for a massage. It'll do you the world of good. And they're like, I'm not
Mm,
sure.
not
What
sure,
are some
yeah.
of the biggest surprises they might discover during or after a session? Just to put their mind at ease, really.
Hmm. So I think the biggest surprise people find is it's not a lot. It's very different to, I think, standard massages maybe that they've had before. It's much more slower paced. So don't expect to be in and out of the door within 25 minutes. That's not going to happen in my studio. So it's all about coming in and being able to talk about what your needs are, what we're going to be doing. I explain everything from the beginning to the end. And you have the time afterwards to relax as well. I feel like people are so used to having massages where they have to like get off the bed and oh, there's going to be someone else coming in soon, or I've got to hurry up and get up out of the room. Um, I've always been very conscious of making sure that people don't feel rushed. It's only me and you in the room. There's no one else around. There's no distractions, and I think yeah, people will be surprised at the level of detail as well. From the moment you come in. Um, everything's been thought out. The bed is comfortable. It's not like a small, tiny bed that you're kind of like squashed in and, you feel like you can't roll off, or, you're going to fall off the bed if you move too much to one side or something like that. Um, it's very comfortable. It's much more luxurious than a standard massage. Um, and yeah, you're going to feel so much better. I think people when they come in, they hear the sounds of the music, they have the smells there. As soon as you walk into the space, the smell kind of like, really takes you in, and they're just going to feel so relaxed, so relaxed.
It sounds wonderful, and I'm already got my head ready to book another appointment. Um, In your experience, what kind of long-term benefits do people notice when they start to make this kind of care a regular routine? So when they're coming to see you on a regular basis.
So, I've had many people come to me with chronic pain, for example. They've perhaps they're a diver, for example, scuba diving, and they work in the diving places, and they have this kind of there's lots of let's say physiological conditions that they can get from these kind of physical jobs. Maybe you're working long hours and you've got this problem with your back, or you've got shoulder tension, you have headaches. When people come regularly, the benefits just kind of compound over time. I had a guy that came in and he was not skeptical, but he was told to give it a go. And he came in and I said, look, we're going to do this today. And then I want you to come back in again in about 2 weeks. And then we're just going to kind of go from there. He had the first treatment. He was asleep within like 5 minutes. And he got up off the bed and he was like, I can actually move without pain. Like, this is incredible. He was like, I've never had a massage like that before. I think it wasn't what he was expecting. I think he was expecting like, a proper like pummeling. Um, and he booked again and he was like, I'm hooked. Like, this just really, really helps me. I can actually move. I don't have pain. I'm not complaining to my colleagues at work. I'm not, you know, struggling. And yeah, like I say, I mean, you can have effects from the first massage, but it compounds over time. So if you come regularly enough, you can really feel the full benefits of it. So yes, it does require a commitment, but I mean, if it means that you're pain free, it's just so worth it. And it's again the same with the skin. So, you can have your first facial, but that's only a part of the story. You've got to kind of commit to a couple of treatments just to get you to where your skin needs to be, to heal any kind of, you know, barrier disruption. So, kind of making sure that the skin is in a good place. And then you can kind of work at home, keep your skin in a good condition, make sure you're on the right path. And yeah, having a few facials is going to really help your skin long term. So the benefits compound over time. So yes, you can come for one, but it's so much better when you can come for more.
Amazing. So, how do you approach your wellness from a holistic perspective?
So that's really starting from even the consultation form. So for example, when you're booking a treatment, I kind of want to know more in depth about you, your lifestyle, what your kind of diet is, what skincare products you're using, what's your kind of like basic medical history. If you've been taking lots of antibiotics in the past or any kind of medication, maybe you've had treatment for cancer, things like that. Knowing about your history as well as what you're doing now, and your daily kind of habits, because the holistic approach is really about what you're doing daily. And it's looking at you from a holistic point of view. So you're looking at the whole body, the whole picture. So analyzing those things, diet, whether you're active, whether you're not, whether you're smoking, whether you're maybe having lots of late nights, maybe you're drinking a bit more. Things like that are all important things that I need to know about. And then also kind of how you've reacted to treatments before in the past. Have they been helpful? Have they been not so helpful? Do you have emotional reactions to it? Do you have very strong physical reactions to it? Because some people can feel quite unwell afterwards. Looking at the whole picture is really important to begin with. And then when you're in the treatment room, it's about combining as many kind of modalities as possible to kind of work towards their goal. So, if they want to come for relaxation, well, how can I make that experience more relaxing? Can I use an aromatherapy essential oil blend? Can I play the right sort of music and sounds that are conducive to relaxation? Maybe I want to use the crystal sound bowl. Maybe I have to incorporate some more breathing because, again, as you know, with breath work, it's really key to your overall wellness. And People don't know how to breathe. A lot of people just don't know how to breathe, and it's actually it's just bringing focus back to something as simple as breath. To begin with, that's kind of like what I like to do, just a quick kind of moment to breathe. And yeah, I've forgotten the actual question now. I've gone probably a bit off.
It is
Bit off.
perfect. We'll talk about the perspective,
Oh
but
yeah, the
we'll just
holistic
go.
benefits. Yeah.
Do you have any like philosophies that guide you or beliefs behind your holistic perspective?
So the holistic perspective, my belief is now, I mean, it's kind of evolved. Now it's become much more about nervous system kind of regulation and being able to just be still and be alone and just be, essentially. I don't want there to be any external kind of distractions. I want people to just kind of come in, be present, show up for themselves, and just kind of explore how you're feeling mentally, and just go that a little bit deeper. I want this to become a much more deeper experience. It's not just like getting on the bed,
Would you
rubbing, and then leaving.
would you say that your approach has changed throughout the years? So the therapist that you are today is a different therapist to what you were in your early 20s, for example.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think when I was a younger therapist, it was all about kind of saying yes to everything. If somebody wanted like a back breaking massage, I was breaking my back to do it, like I was overreaching so much. I was trying to outperform and like just do everything that people asked me to do without even thinking about how it would affect me physically and mentally, because at the end of the day, it can be a very draining job if you're doing it wrong, or if you're doing too much. So yeah, I think in the beginning it was all about like, yeah, deep tissue, that's the only way that it can work, and they won't get any benefits unless I'm doing like super hard massage. Whereas with experience and having my own place now, I've just seen so much more powerful kind of reactions and results from just taking a step back and saying, will this person actually benefit from me doing those techniques? Probably not. Maybe occasionally, and obviously in some cases, some people do need like really, really thorough, deep work, but not every time. And I urge people to kind of explore different approaches. So of course you have so many different massages. You have Thai massage, you have Swedish, you have relaxing, you have this, you have that. There's so many. It's almost impossible to list them all. But there are benefits to be felt that you just didn't even realize were there. If you're
I
someone who's
relate
always gone for like super sports
to
massages,
the
which are
whole.
great, don't get me
I
wrong,
used to be that person that
just
got
being able to feel a different pressure, because
sports
there are
massage, the
physiological
heavy
benefits from
massage all the
just
time,
touching.
and mainly because I'm always active, always using my muscles, etc. But I've discovered now I'm a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, that I don't need that intense massage for it to actually be beneficial. Sometimes that nice relaxing massage is actually more beneficial to me as a person, because I need to relax my head to then relax my
Hmm.
muscles. It's more tension and stress rather than the fact that I've worked it out, which is why my muscles are really tight here, for example. So I've definitely
Hmm.
evolved as a person looking for a massage. I no longer look for that hardcore deep tissue sports
Mm.
massage. I'm looking for the more relaxing massage, the one that's gonna keep me calmer and then take away that tension in my body, rather than just trying to make my muscles softer, essentially.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're totally right. And I mean, there are dangers to going too deep at the end of the day. And there's no actual concrete evidence that going deeper will give you any extra benefits. I mean, you come away feeling sore. Well, okay, yes, that can happen, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you've managed to achieve softer or more relaxed muscles. I've actually seen the complete opposite. So It's weird, yeah. So I guess my philosophy has changed in that I'm just focusing much more on the kind of, I guess, the mental aspect of it. I want to kind of trigger more of a mindful kind of response to it, and I want to make people feel good and just see them, with a smile on their face afterwards, and just be like, oh wow, I just feel so much better. That wasn't what I expected at all. Those are the words that I want to hear, and yeah. So I guess my approach has changed much more in that direction now.
Do you think more people are waking up to the idea of healing being more about being more than just the physical aspect of it? For example, like myself, I used to go for that intense massage because my muscles were aching, but there's more to
Mm.
it. And do you think more and more people are waking up to this idea and coming to you looking for that mind, body, soul integration that is available?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I felt. I think once I'd opened the shop, I mean, I opened my studio and I had the tools that I had were very different. It was like I had a massage gun and like some really strong, like stainless steel, like call them gua sha, but they're like for the fascia. And they were like these huge, like scraping things that I would use. And it was all about just like going completely in. And it was so aggressive, like, I mean, not aggressive, but a much more forceful approach. And now, if you look at my studio and the tools that I have, it's like I have hot stones, and I have like my poultices, and I have my very nice, smooth crystals, and I've got my crystal bowl, and all of these other things now. It's completely different. Um, but yes, I think people are much more aware of the benefits of having this kind of multifaceted approach. So it's like instead of just going for one thing, just try to include as many little things as you can, like, breath work is another huge, huge element of it. Um, Obviously keeping active, meditation, mindfulness, all of those things, and combining it all together to create this beautiful kind of I guess like a ritual. And that's kind of how I look at it. It's like combining all these different things depending on how you want to feel, how you're feeling today, and making that whole experience yours truly. So I think people are much more aware of it now than they used to be. I think the times have changed a lot since when I first qualified, for sure.
Amazing. So I'm glad things are changing for the better. I foresee. Um, what's it
Yeah.
like running a business or a wellness business here on Kos as an expat? I want your point of view because I've got my point of view. It'd be nice to
Yeah.
pause.
Yeah. Wow. So I was thinking about this question before and I was like, I don't even know where to start, but it's honestly, it's been just a huge roller coaster from the moment that, I decided to open the shop. How it is. You're in a country that isn't your country. You don't speak the language, or at least I don't. Um, it was all a complete unknown. So many things that I thought would be easy were really, really difficult, and so many things that I expected to be really difficult were like super easy. Um, and it was just you just got to kind of throw yourself straight in and just be like, look, if I'm going to do the best that I can. We're going to make it work in the end. And it was difficult. I remember like when I was opening the shop, I was trying to explain to the people that were doing like the floors and the walls and the painting and everything. I was trying to kind of give them an idea of what I wanted, but I just couldn't get it across. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is going to be horrible. It's never going to look nice. They have no idea of what I'm talking about. I must look like an absolute nut job. And I'm sure they thought that. Um, but yeah, it was, yeah, it's been a challenge, but honestly, it's all kind of worked out in a way. Um, the difficult thing, I guess, I thought was going to be opening the shop, but actually the reality is once you've got the shop open, the business open, it's about, well, okay, well, how now do I find people who want to come to my studio? And then there's the whole kind of like getting the word out there and making sure that people actually enjoy and are happy with the service that you're providing. Because I mean, I think that I provide a good service, but do my customers think that? It's so many kind of things go through your mind, and obviously it's not my country, so the local population here, they want a certain thing, and they are very, how to say this? They know exactly what they want, and at the end of the day, if you're not providing something that they are happy with, the standard of the service, they will tell you about it. So there's no kind of like brushing it under the carpet. If they don't like it, they will tell you. And there was kind of an element of just kind of having to listen to feedback and be very, well, learning from that and saying, okay, well, this is how I have to run the business. It's going to be like this. And yeah, it's been tricky. It's been tricky, but also very rewarding at the same time. So yeah.
I think with any business, whether you're in a new country, an unfamiliar country, or in your own home country, running a business is challenging no matter what. And
Mhm.
those particular like challenges you've had over the times, you would have probably had the majority of those challenges in the UK as well. For example, you're saying that you struggle to describe how you wanted the flooring or the walls, but how many builders or floor layers actually understand the wellness holistic business and really
That's it.
understand
That's
what
it.
you're really looking for? I think no matter where you are, when you've got a vision, it's quite hard to actually share that vision. They really need to see it to understand it, no matter what language we speak.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, I was very lucky in a sense that I had amazing people around me who helped me. So I'm not going to take the whole credit, but well, I was the only one who did this and I was the only one who did that. I had my wonderful boyfriend with me, who helped me a lot. He was kind of like the one calling people to come and work in the shop and making things happen, moving it in the right direction. Because I think without him, I would have been completely lost. It would have just gone completely. It would have taken me probably a
I
year to
think
get open if it was left to me.
I think I think we're only as successful as the people we surround ourselves with. So we have to have that
Absolutely.
good circle of people to make ourselves as successful as we can. And I certainly wouldn't be here today having this conversation if I didn't have a good circle of people around me. And I would have never met you, for example, and then I wouldn't be here interviewing you. We've got to everybody that I've been interviewing, for example, on this podcast is either somebody that I've known through working with them or friendship, or
Yeah.
somebody that has been a friend of a friend. And I think that's how business works. I think we're all there to support one another and to help each other as much as possible.
Yeah, that's the beauty of think of being on cost as well. It's like for such a small place, you have so many people working towards the same kind of end goal, I guess, just to make sure that this place is known for the beautiful wellness kind of community that we have here and the activities that we have. And there are so many different, places, for example, that you can go for a spa treatment. There are places that you can go to do your fitness classes. You can come and do, I don't know, special full moon rituals and all of these wonderful events that we have and people that come here on the island to do those. And yeah, it's a community of so many people, all wanting to, you know, bring wellness to the fore, for costs.
Yeah,
And I think that's great. There's something for everyone.
there's
Yeah.
there's definitely a good wellness community here for sure. All striving for the same thing and all cheering each other on. And I think it's incredible, absolutely amazing. And how
Yeah.
has the island influenced your work, and your lifestyle?
Yeah. So cost has been, I mean, yeah, from a lifestyle perspective, life is so much better in costs. I mean, it kind of goes without saying. I mean, yes, you've got the sun and you have the sea, but I can really disconnect when I want to in costs. Whereas I feel like in the UK. I mean, if I had a business in the UK, I don't know how it would be, but I mean, I imagine that it would be a much more all-encompassing kind of stressful, on the go all the time kind of experience, you know. I guess the beauty with being on costs is you have the seasonality of it, or at least I very much embrace the seasonality of having a business in costs. I very much work to the seasons. Um, I love spring, for example. Spring is kind of when I'm sort of kick-starting and getting ideas together and starting to output everything that I've been thinking about over the winter. And then obviously summer is kind of just like working. As we know what seasons are like in the summer, it's pretty intense. And then come the autumn and the winter, I just really take a step back. I try to do as little as possible. I don't even think about the studio. I just completely switch off and kind of absorb things rather than kind of putting things out there. So cost allows you to, if you're going to go with the seasonality of it, you have the benefits of having the high kind of speed life in the summer, and then there's the complete kind of disconnect and the switching off and embracing winter. So you can really do that in costs. The winter is lovely and calm and quiet, and then in the summer you have the busyness and people and the heat. But yeah, I think I can switch off from my business whenever I want. I can go to the sea. I can go and sit under an olive tree and just sit there and listen to the silence if I want to. I can, everything's so close and you can just get everywhere that you want. You can take your car, drive to a different beach whenever you want. You can go up the mountain. I mean, yeah, I think that is actually what helps my business. It helps me. And so through that, it helps my business. I always come to the studio with an amazing energy, and so once I'm in the studio, I'm just kind of like completely focused on who's in front of me, and I don't have like other thoughts and stresses going on in my brain because I've had the time to disconnect from the studio, and that's a really unique thing, I think, to be on the island and experience all those elements and just be.
Do you find that people coming to COSM already come with a kind of healing mindset? Do you think that exists?
I think there are, and I've seen them, and they've come to my studio, and they are on their own a lot of the time, and they have come to COS with the purpose of, well, I guess you could say self-exploration. They are curious to find out more about themselves in a different place, and they've come with the specific purpose to relax. And I think with the lives that we have now, it's just getting harder and harder to find an environment where you can do that. And COS is, I can't think of a better place, really. You have so many things to do. And if you want to do nothing, you can do nothing. And if you want to do lots of activities and explore, you want to put yourself out there and push your, the self-limiting beliefs that you have, and you want to do, I don't know, rock climbing, or, start a new, you want to start a new sport or something like that, you can do it. And so, yeah, absolutely. I think there are people that are coming specifically with that mindset, for sure.
I definitely find that on my retreats, I'm getting a lot of people that are coming specifically for that healing mindset. They're doing something for
Yeah.
themselves. And it's not me that just runs retreats on COS. There's many retreats going on around COS, all
Mm-hmm.
different types of retreats. I've got my fitness retreats, my Pilates and breathwork retreats, there's yoga retreats, there's
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of different retreats. And I do think this for me, there's something special about COS, and I think people are attracted to COS because it does have that healing mindset. It does have something about it that makes you feel better. You want to
Mm-hmm.
improve yourself. Yeah, it's a special, special place. Um, where do you see holistic treatments going in the future? Is there anything emerging? Is there anything that you're excited about, or do you just see it going the way it is?
So yeah, it's weird when I think about it. When earlier in my career, I just kind of thought that it was just moving very slowly, like nothing was really changing. It was just kind of like massage was massage. Um, Facials were facials. They were very basic and they just kind of were like that. And there was no kind of innovation behind it. But since I've opened the studio and obviously with social media, you can really see how creative people become once they are in control of their space and they can bring all of these wonderful kind of, but they can bring their knowledge to their treatments. And, you know, you see things like sound healing emerging. That's becoming quite a big thing. It's something that I've also brought into the studio as well because I love sound. It's very important for me. It's an important part of the experience of the studio. And then you have, you know, energetic kind of modalities, so energy healing, things like that are emerging. And I guess they've always been popular, but integrating them into massage and facials is a beautiful kind of complement to it. And bringing the energetic healing, the sound, breath work, all of these things. I think we're gonna see more of that. I think definitely we'll see more of that. Of course, there's like, you know, influences from the East. So you have, you know, obviously Thai massage was like a huge thing. I guess we'll continue to see more of that. Japanese head spas are quite popular now. I guess we'll probably see more of that. And yeah, it's just it changes so much actually. When you look at it, it's always changing. I always thought that it was just kind of very slow moving, it just stayed the same, but it's not. It's always
Do you think
evolving.
because more people are traveling, more people see things on social media, that does influence things a lot? And the fact that we're bringing concepts together. So, like you said, you're not just doing massage, you bring the sound element, you do the breathing element, which probably didn't happen in the past. There were three separate
Mm.
things, but people are bringing them together to give you a full experience. Do you think more and
Hmm.
more of that's going to happen?
I would certainly like to see it. And as I say, I mean, you obviously have to keep remembering that it's about the person in front of you and what is going to be beneficial for them. Um, yeah, bringing those modalities together um, is, yeah, like you say, I think because of the traveling and people just being able to go to different countries, experience the wellness from that particular place and how they do things, um, and bringing them maybe to your practice. Of course, we have to be respectful of, you know, we can't just keep taking things and then just say, okay, well, that's my idea. You know, you've got to be respectful and say, look, I went to this place and I've taken inspiration from there, and, you know, give back to those communities that you've taken those kind of practices from, of course. But yes, it's it's becoming big. I mean, the wellness industry is a huge industry. And yeah, like you say, there's just so many facets to it. There's so many different avenues you can go down. Um, and yeah, it's about, I guess, as a client, you know, if you're looking for somewhere, just have a look and see what it is that they do on social media. Does it align with what you want and how you want to feel? Do you think that's something that you want to go down? Because, you know, so many different therapists all doing different things, you know, reflexology, acupuncture, so many things. Yeah, it's incredible. I'd like to see more of it. I'd like to see more of it for sure.
Where do you see what's next for now? So where do you see yourself going?
Yeah, so I at the moment I'm kind of just enjoying where I am at the moment. A lot of people ask me, well, you know, when are you going to open another shop? Are you going to employ other therapists and all of these kind of questions, you know, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? And it's like, well, actually, I'm quite happy with where I am at the moment. I feel like you can rush it too much. And then once you've kind of hit your peak, it's like, well, where am I going to go now? You know, I'm kind of enjoying the whole uphill journey, you know, because it's really on the upturn and I'm really enjoying that hunger to, you know, keep the business alive and I'm enjoying just how it is. I like being alone in the studio, and I think one of the main reasons that the studio does so well is that it is a one-to-one experience, and that without sounding like an idiot, people do come for my treatment and they come to see me. You know, they're my friends and they are They're here to see me and have the treatment that I provide. Once you start kind of adding more people to the picture, it's not the same. And that's fine also. But it also comes with risks and challenges. And, I'm working to build my brand, I guess. It's all about kind of making sure that the standards are there. And I have complete control over the experience. I think for me, giving away control to other people is a bit too much of a step for me. I'm not quite there yet. But never say never. I mean, I never thought I was going to open a studio, and yet here we are. So you never know. You never know. But yeah, I think just working on the treatments and just keeping them interesting. I'm always looking at the menu, always adjusting things, adding things to the experience, looking at places where I can improve all the time. So yeah, just focusing on the client experience. That is my main focus, and just keeping it going.
Wonderful. And it's nice that you're happy in the present. It's very rare that we find people in this day and age that are just happy in the present moment. We're always trying to strive something, the next best thing. But there's something really, grounding with the fact that you feel good in the moment. And you're right, people are coming to see you. If I come for a massage, I'm coming for a massage from Grace. I'm not coming for a massage from anybody else. So
Yeah,
you are the brand. Naos is not the brand. Grace is the brand.
yeah, that's it.
What do you think makes what do you think makes Kos such a special healing place? Because we like to end with a bit of magic. So we're getting towards the end of the
Yeah.
podcast. So yeah, why is Kos such a special healing place?
Well, I mean, just look at the history of Kos, and it's incredible. And geographically where we're located, it's such a melting pot between different cultures, um, and also being on an island, you have so many different, you have all the elements. You have the sea, you have the water, you have the earth, you have the air, and you have that element of heat. You have the sun all the time just warming you and giving you that beautiful energy. And then you also have incredible, lunar events here. I mean, I'm sure you've seen, the moon can be incredible here. If you're someone who loves soaking up that lunar energy, if you're in a country like England where you very rarely will see the full moon coming up above the sea, you will see it here. It's a truly incredible place, and I urge everyone just to be able to take a walk somewhere quiet, be alone, just lie on the sand, feel the energy from the earth, properly ground yourself and just absorb everything, because as soon as you get back home, it's very difficult. And with the weather and stuff in the UK, I mean, how often do you get outside? I mean, now it's been great, but maybe next week it'll be raining 24/7, and who wants to get out in that? I mean, I know that people do like the rain, but it's not for me. I want to be in the heat and have the sun and have the moon. It's a beautiful place.
I relate.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
nice.
What's if somebody was coming here for a wellness trip here on Kos, what would you tell them? Would give them the one tip to do here on Kos?
I think, yeah, the one tip would be try something new. Um, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. I mean, I'm not talking about, pushing yourself to a stressful point, but I mean, try something new. Um, explore, and find some time to just be alone, be with yourself. Um, that would be my main tip. And just look for the most authentic experience that you can. Look for people like, for example, like us, who are providing that intimate experience, an authentic experience. Spend time with us. We're going to take care of you and make sure that you have the best experience on the island. It's truly magical. Try something different. Try Pilates, try yoga, try a massage, go to the thermal springs, for example. I mean, that's an incredible free free spa essentially, isn't it? I mean, the waters are so healing.
Yeah.
Go to the thermal springs, ride a bike along the sea, the coastline. Go to all the beaches, all of them, and
All of them.
all of them
Think
if
if
you
you could,
can. That'll be difficult because we have so
yeah,
many.
7 years. I've lived here for 7 years. Been coming here since I was
Still
five
haven't been
years
to all
old, and
of
I don't think I've been to all the beaches yet.
them.
There's some amazing beaches. My partner, who is, well, 50 years old, has not been to all the beaches, and he's lived here most of his life.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah,
incredible, isn't it? It's such a small island,
yeah.
but yeah,
There's so many hidden gems out there, though, that, and there's a lot of beaches you can't get to by car. You've either got to hike to them or get to them via boat as well. And they're your
yeah,
perfect little secret beaches. There's so
yes,
many.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, Lovey, let's wrap it up. Thank you very much. If somebody wants to connect with you or book a treatment, or soak up some Naos energy, how would they go about doing that?
So I'm on all the platforms at Naos Massage Studio. So that's Naos Massage Studio. So I'm on the TikTok now, so I'm going to be spending a bit more time on there. Instagram is probably where I'm most active. So I don't have an opening date yet, but it will be in May, and I will announce it probably on Instagram. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, that's where you can find me. And thank you so much for having me on here. It's been really great. I hope I haven't rambled too much. Um,
You've been amazing. There's no such thing as rambling on our podcast. We just want to know more and more information. We want to learn about wellness, anything that's out there, we want to know about. But so thank you very much. I will look forward to my massages this summer, for sure. Yeah,
oh, I
fantastic.
look
Well,
forward to
thank
having
you for
you.
listening, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. If you do like our podcast, click like, put some comments at the end. And also, if you like to hear more from Evexia, the Evexia Effect, just click subscribe and you'll get all our podcasts, all about Cross Island, all about wellness. We're learning and we're building a community together. Thank you very much. Until next time. Bye bye.